It seems like every time one scam disappears, 3 more pop up in its place. In an effort to turn the tide, the Monmouth County Division of Consumer Affairs are giving residents an overview on consumer fraud alerts, the latest scams, and ways to avoid falling prey. Monmouth County Consumer Affairs Director Dave Salkin says some of the biggest scams out there involve the military, the IRS, the Social Security Administration, and people or businesses hiring home or office improvement contractors. These phone scams are intended to scare you into paying money and providing personal information you don't owe them.
It's always urgency. It's a person in authority trying to scare you. And the trick is to slow down, think about what they're really asking, and does it make sense that anybody would call you out of the blue and put you in that position? The answer is no.
With home improvement scams, Salkin urges consumers to do their research first.
People just should know who they're doing business with before they spend big money on things.
One scam that is shocking but very much a real thing involves military families. A scammer will call someone's home late at night and tell them that their child or grandchild was killed in a training drill or in the line of duty, and they need to pay money to have their body delivered back to the United States.
If you have a loved one in the military, you know that, God forbid, something bad happened, someone's going to knock at your door. It's going to be an officer and usually clergy to sit you down and tell you what happened. You're not going to get a phone call in the middle of the night telling you something horrible happened, and by the way, I need your name, your address, your phone number, your social security number, your driver's license, and $500 to ship a body to Dover. It just doesn't happen that way.
These scammers are more properly known as social engineers, and they wait for an opportunity to take advantage of unsuspecting victims.
Social engineers are folks who pretend to be somebody that they're not. These people aren't dumb. They're smart, they're creative, they're convincing, and they prey upon your fears.
These social engineers will often make you think the number calling you on your phone is in your area or even your own number. It's an act known as spoofing.
So they know that geographically, if I live in Freehold, I know it's a 732 area code, and the prefix, that 462-431-780-308, I know what the prefixes are in my area. So when the phone call comes in and it looks like it's geographically close to me, it appears to be more legit. The odds of me answering the phone are greater. So the companies that do this, they intentionally spoof to look like a local number.
He said these social engineers aren't necessarily calling you all the time. They're making the call repeatedly from the computer every day by the millions. So that's why it's a random call. It's also important to protect yourself online, whether it's your banking information, email, or any website that requires a password. Salkin said instead of using a password, it's better to use a passphrase.
Instead of using capital P, password, the number 1, password 1 is going to be hacked in 0.29 of 1 second. If only 3 of my 5 grandchildren ever call me, exclamation point, exclamation point. It's so many characters. It's got special characters, the exclamation points. It's got a capital letter. It's got a couple of numerals in it. Something that's 20 or 30 characters long, very, very difficult, maybe even impossible to break that.
He said it's also best practice to keep your list of passwords handwritten in your desk and not on your computer. The reason being, Salkin explained, is that if someone hacks into your computer and finds your list of passwords, they now have access to all of your personal information. He also recommends having a good antivirus software on your computer, especially one you have to pay for to get better protection. You are the best protection against these scams. Slow it down and think smart.
If somebody contacts me out of the blue and wants a bunch of personal information, why would I share that information? I'm not giving anybody anything. And if they're contacting me and acting like they know me, well, then some of this stuff they should already know, right? They shouldn't, if you're calling me and saying, I need your name and address, well, you just call me. Don't you know who I am? Why would I give you my name?
Monmouth County Freeholder Lillian Burry, who serves as the liaison to the County Division of Consumer Affairs, said there's a large concern with respect to consumer products as well, so you need to be careful.
It becomes even more involved and more dangerous as time goes on, as it's become so sophisticated, the internet, and you heard about Series and how they're constantly muttering what you're doing and what you're saying. The solution is being informed. Inform yourself.
Some of the ways to avoid scams, both online and over the phone, are hang up on robocalls, be skeptical about free trial offers, and don't always believe your caller ID phone number and identification. At the Monmouth County Library headquarters in Manalapan, I'm Vin Ebenu for the Town Square News Network.